I really must. Oh, new parts. Flatulence. I really must have a tidy up. Because a lot of this is shit. Right. Oh, more flatulence. Right, let's turn around. Hello. Another highly professional introduction. Yes. Oh, you bugger, you don't go there. Yes, new parts. The rear brake hose has come in for the Aprilia. So I've just moved Nibbler out the shed and Phyllis out the shed and put the Aprilia in. So I can do the brake hose. Now I'm going to show you in a minute how the brake hose routes, because in their infinite wisdom, Rotax, a lot of dirt bike engines and all that lot, in fact a lot of Italian engines, the chain and sprockets are the opposite side to a jack bike. In a traditional jack bike, your chain and sprockets are on the left, so your brake disc is on the right. So traditionally you have quite a short brake hose. Now this I found on eBay, and it's a company, I do believe they're down in Devon or Dorset, down that way. Alright, my lover? Down that way, and they're called Wezmoto, and that was about 10 quid cheaper than the equivalent Hellline. In fact, nearly all their brake lines were about £10 cheaper, so I thought I'll give them a go, being British. But my the Hellines I'd made up for the ZX10 all came from Northern Ireland, and very good they were too. They were Hellines made up by I can't remember the name. We covered it in a past ZX video anyway. So I thought I'd give these a go, and at first glance I'm not sure whether this is actually long enough, because as I was saying, the brake hose on the Aprilia being a Rotax engine, it has to go from the brake pedal. I don't know what this does, there's a bit of hard line which isn't on here, is a bit of hard line goes up to one of the frame crossbars, and it guides into one of the frame crossbars and then back down to the other side of the swing arm. So your rear brake hose on this Aprilia is about the same size as a front brake hose, whereas traditionally rear brake hoses, beautiful hair, are, you know, they're half the length. But ooh, it's braided and plastic covered, nice. Oh yeah, when I've uncoiled my monster it looks a lot bigger. So yeah, I mean that's about the size of a full length fur run tool, and they have put an angled fitting on one side and a straight, you know what I mean, straight fitting. It's finished lovely, it's braided, it's plastic coated, it's heat shrunk at the end so it doesn't fray the braiding. Good. And it even came with stickers, 4 horsepowers each, easily. So the Aprilia should now make 58 horsepowers. Oh no, I've got a shoestring shed sticker on it as well. How many horsepowers will that put? Let's say 5. High quality. So yeah, 63 horsepower now. So yes, very good. And it's come with the banjos and washers. Now one thing I did have to do, I've put it down and I don't know where I've put it because I'm an idiot. Anyway, I've put it in the other shed. Yes, ready to start work. I'm so disorganised. I was going to go and fetch the ZZR tomorrow. The Nibbler's going off to his new home, where he'll probably be transformed into a race bike or help run a race bike. So it's great. The bike continues to live, basically, in one form or another. You know, it could have gone to somebody who wanted to restore him or anything like that, but I know he's going to get used. Some of you may disagree with this, but at the time, right decision, and I'm still not regretting it because I've always liked ZZRs. And at the end of the day, it's my bike. So yes, it's not like it will die a death. It will. He'll either put it on the road himself or he'll just use it as spares for the race bike. So either way, it's still going to be useful, which is good. And I think for a £200 initial bike, a pretty good result. So anyway, yes, comes with the banjos, comes with the washers, and I did have to buy another spanner because the bleed nipples on these Aprilias, they're Brembo calipers. Cup of tea this morning. Brembo calipers, and the bleed nipples you'd think it'd be, you know, 8mm or something like that, or old Japanese stuff sometimes used to be 10 and 12mm. No, this is 11mm. Can you guess the spanner size I haven't got? Although I'm just looking at my crow's foot spanners, and if I've got an 11mm there, I should be rather angry. In fact, I should be so angry. I should write to my PM. Oh, fuck me. I have got an 11mm. Anyway, I've bought an 11mm ratchet spanner. Because some of the bolt sizes on the Aprilia are odd. You know, there's a lot of 13mm and stuff like that. I say odd. I suppose some of them are probably working in Imperial. So, you know, 1/2 inch and what have you. But doesn't matter. I can do the job, basically. I've got the old little Mighty Vac brake bleeding pump out. The rear brake reservoir on the Aprilia is tiny. It's very, very small. And if the rear brake is half as ineffective as the one on the Falco was, basically it just serves to warm the disc up. So I'll have to keep a close eye on the fluid level on the reservoir while I do it. But the good thing about the Mighty Vac is you can sort of just set it under vacuum, crack the bleed nipple, and go around the other side and just top the fluid up. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I may have to cable tie this in a couple of places because the hard line takes it up the side of the frame. It's very, 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 very close to the exhaust, which is probably what causes the brake pipe failure, to be fair. Probably that little heat spot is where it's collapsed. We do think the hose has collapsed, so yes, so we'll crack on with that. But I just thought I'd give you a shed introduction, copyright me, show you the new hose. So yeah, so that's from Wezmoto. Quality wise, cock on, lovely bit of kit, lovely bit of kit. And it comes with literally a booklet of English instructions. Literally, it's either 4 pages or 2. I can't count. Unless I go upstairs and get it, I can't show you. But comprehensive fitting instructions and how the braking system works and stuff, which is brilliant. The next bit that's coming, should be the chain adjusters. And these have come from a broker. This come from these guys, Pro Motorcycle Salvage. There we go. They're on and they also they want project bikes and stuff to break. So there you go. That's their plug. And it's the chain adjusters for the Aprilia. Now, you know, I said the other day about the difference in quality between German breakers and British breakers. Well, you saw the good condition of the British breaker stuff. Oh, is this bag sealed? Ooh, it could be in a sealed bag. That's good. But it's fucking filthy, really is. Come on, breakers, you can do better than this. There's probably nothing wrong with the parts, to be fair, but you can present yourself better than this. Do you know what I mean? breakers do not need the scummy image they used to have, even though they've always been really useful. So I'm going to get the bag open and see what the quality of the parts is like. But the fact that the bag is all covered in oil and grease and shit, it's not good. You know, at the end of the day, you're selling a product. Doesn't matter whether it's used or new, but that would never come like that from Germany. Right, let's open the bag and see what's in it. Oh, I nearly did an Alan Milliard close-up then. I had donuts last night. They were lovely. Tracy didn't make them though. Welcome back to the shed. Yes, so I've just opened the bag with my extremely sharp knife. Stab, stab. So yeah, they wouldn't, like I say, they wouldn't come like this from a German break-off, basically, or probably any other European. But it's good to see that these have been packed with grease. It's a very good sign. So in one way, it's good to see them honest. One thing that is worrying is, well, not worrying as such, it actually shows somebody's got a bit of forethought, is that a common mod is to put the nylock nut on, which sits in that little recess. And what happens is, as I explained the other day, with the normal standard nut on, they back off, and when they back off, these pop out the swing arm and they go spinny, 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 and they basically interfere with the sprocket, and these get smashed to buggery. Now what's happened on one of mine is that obviously happened, and all this casting round here got mullered, and that one's been mullered, but somebody's caught it early, which is good, because the casting's all good, because somebody's put a larger washer on mine, so the adjuster doesn't recess. It adjusts the chain perfectly fine, it's safe, but I like things to be as they need to be. Flatulence. So what I think I'm going to do with these is give them a good degreasing, pick all this old grease out, but on the whole less corrosion than on the ones that I've got fitted, which is good. So yeah, I mean, they're not worth painting or anything. Sometimes what I like to do is paint the little the lines and numbers in white with a little paint mark or something like that, so they're more clearly visible. But the visibility on the Aprilia is actually quite good to see what you're doing. So I think what I'm going to do, give these a little bath in some degreaser, some gunk, and give them a good with the paintbrush, and then I think they can all go in the aqua jiggler. This can be replaced with a nylock nut, because as you can see, somebody's replaced the bolt, so whether it mullered the bolt, I don't know, but it should have that thread length for a reason, because that thread length should exceed that, and it doesn't. It will probably be perfectly fine, but what I might do is swap my bolts over, because my bolts are the original Aprilias, so I'll have the proper adjustment either side. So on the whole, I'm happy with these, but you know, they could have been cleaned up. The bag's a disgrace. I know it's come from a breakers, probably I'm just being a bit of a snob, but having seen the care and attention that European breakers put into the parts, British breakers need to step up, basically. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. The next thing I'm going to show you is probably inside the shed, and I might have a bit of a swear trying to fit this. Nice. Right, now they've had their initial light degreasing, I think I might just chuck them in the aqua jiggler for a couple of runs, say an hour, and just to give them a fighting chance. Nice. And then I'll probably get the little the old little like whizzy wheels on them, on the Dremel, and give them a nice. Wrong button, Jim. church bells are ringing. I wonder if some fucking idiot's getting married. Right, I took the side panels and the seat off and stuff so we can see a little bit clearer than what we're doing now. I'm not getting any younger. So, normally on a Japanese bike you will have your disc brake here. So the hose literally only has to go from there, it's attached to the swing arm at one place, and then to the caliper. It's quite a short affair. Charlie's a bit more like the Aprilia because he has to go from the master cylinder. It's actually routed, I think, through the swing arm on the VFR and comes out there. I've got to bleed this caliper in, but I'm going to wait for till I've done the front calipers, and I'll just do the whole lot in one. So there's a hard line from here to there. I don't know if you can see. Got no idea. To there, and then this goes up here onto the frame stay where there's a clip, and then it goes. Oh God! Why don't they make these things easy? And then it goes down here and across here. And at first glance, I don't think that new hose is nowhere near long enough. We might have to get creative with the routing, I don't know. But the thing to do is take the old one off, measure it up, and if it's the wrong size I will just inform them that I hope it's the wrong size, and see what they want to do about it. But it's the only thing stopping me getting an MOT at the minute. I didn't have a brake light on the rear pedal. Lovely little brake light. And the way to check it is, it's a pressure switch on this, if you've never seen one. Here it is. Common on dirt bikes as well. But it's a pressure switch, and basically when you pump the pedal, it closes a contact in the switch. And the brake light should come on. And the way to test the wiring is Ignizione on ES. And we should have we've got a brake light with the front one. Lovely. But what we do for the rear one is, I'm basically just going to touch the wires, and you should see a little spark. So as I do that, touch the wires, we've got a brake light, so I know the wiring circuit is good. I am going to clean up these little contacts though and give them a fighting chance. But first things first, I need to unplumb the brake line. So I shall bring you back when I've done that, because there's nothing sexy about it. Penis. We have hit a snag. It's actually long enough. You can see I've sort of buggered about with the routing. That's absolutely not where it should be, but it is actually long enough. Even though it's actually about 8 inches shorter than the standard line. The problem we're having is that's not good. No matter how I'm going to orient that line, it's no good. It's really no good. The only other way I could probably think of doing it I can't even do that. Is to route the brake line up the subframe. I'm going to double check, make sure I ordered the rear. I'm just going to have to double check, because surely it should be a light for light. That hard line is there for a reason. It's to get the brake line away from the chain and the swing arm. It can't be routed outside the frame. It's going to look stupid. So at the minute, the job's fucked, I think is the official description. Some smart arse somewhere will have a suggestion, but as the fittings are at the moment, the only way to fit it is to direct it towards the swing arm. Now if this had a more severe angle upwards, it would clear this and I wouldn't have an issue. I don't want to risk bending the unions or anything like that, so I'm not going to play with it. Yes, you could make a little adapter bracket, but that isn't the point of it. This is supposed to be a direct replacement. So I'm wondering if they've sent a front. So what I'm going to do is to take this pressure switch out, pull this back through, and then measure it up to the front one, because if it's the same size for the front one, I might replace the front one, because if the back one's collapsed due to age or whatever, I think it's because it routes close to the exhaust. Then I may as well replace the front, may as well. But I'm just going to double check the listing, because, you know, in my impatience I have been known to click a little bit early. Yes folks, I'm a premature buyer. So yes, very disappointed at the moment. I mean, what I might try and do is stick the original hose back on. I think it's pointless, but I've freed the caliper up. Is stick the original hose back on, bleed it all through properly, and see if we get any binding. If not, we're good. But if we do, then I'm probably going to have to go with an original Aprilia hose, or see if somebody like Nuneaton Pipe and Hose can make one up, because obviously we need that bit of hardline. That's a disappointing result. You know how the ZX10 didn't want to be fixed? I'm getting a bit of deja vu there. Managed to route the pipe alright. I actually swapped ends and got this fitting so it's really close to the frame. It misses the swing arm, misses the chain, and the idea is I'm just going to cable tie it out of the way. And then instead of routing it under the swing arm and across and up, this hose is about 8 inches shorter than the standard. So I've routed it and then along the top of the swing arm, and it can be cable tied with a big cable tie. So that's fine. That's all right. But I kept getting loads of air. It won't bleed, and I kept tightening the pressure switch, and the seal washers were not crushing. And yes, this has happened. This is the other half of it. The pressure switch has shuffled behind the curtain and joined the choir invisible. It's sheared where they drilled the hole for the fluid to come through. The sealing washers weren't sealing, so I was just going like a little bit tighter, and they still weren't sealing. So either these sealing washers are just no good that come with the kit, because they don't appear to have crushed at all. I maybe should have reused the originals, just warm them up. But there you go. So that's end of play today, because I'm now going to have to order another pressure switch. So I'll never know whether that one worked or not, to be honest. We know the electrics are good, so that's a plus point. But yeah, as it is, that has stopped play, basically. So that hasn't crushed. So either their washers are no good, I don't know, or that switch may have been weakened by a previous bleeding attempt or something, because somebody has had this master cylinder off and greased it all. So I don't know. So that's the end of the video for today. Oh, there's Uncle Barnyard is outside. Right, I'm going. Bye bye. I'm going to sulk. know how I casually mentioned in the introduction that the no-brake line may be too short? This is the old brake line. Don't know whether you can see it actually, but this is the hard line section that runs up the frame. It goes on and on and on and on and on. Anyway, it turns out that even though it was listed as suitable for that model, but in brackets it said fits Aprilia Pegaso 1989, it was a listing for the, I think, 95 to 99 model, which was different. I've just had a look on the official Aprilia micro parts fiche bit drawings. Totally different part numbers, totally different pipe, totally different routing. I didn't know, to be honest. So that hose probably is entirely correct for that bike, the 94 bikes and stuff like that. But they changed it with the Cube, because the Cube was like the second generation. So I've just messaged the guys at what was it, the OMH or something, Motorsport, where I've got the ZX10 lights from, the Neuronane guys, who make up the Hell lines. They have a line listed for the 99 to 2000 whatever. I think it changed again in 2004. So I've just asked them for the line length. I've asked a strange person on the internet for their length. So I've just measured this. It's about 45 inches in old money. So what's that, about 145 centimetres, something like that. It's over a metre. So they're going to get hopefully back to me. And what I'll also do is I will message the original seller and say eBay have said this is the correct fitment, but it's 8 inches too short, and see what they say. Because what I'm probably going to do is measure the front line, and if it's sort of within, and that's bollock, I'll fit that as the front line, so I still won't lose out. But as you can see, I now have to wait for parts again. Has Jimmy bought another motorcycle that doesn't want to be fucking fixed? That was my belly, because I've had no breakfast. Possibly. There's little jobs on this. You do a little job, you find another little job, etc, etc. It's been a lot longer process than what I thought it was going to be, but yeah, there is no rush. Phyllis is all road legal and on the road. ZX10 has now been sawned, and the MOT's run out, so that can't be used, which is no great shame, and weather crap anyway. So yeah, that's where we're at. So this was your bonus content. Yet again, the devil's satanic herd has taken a dump. So yeah, that's it then. This is the real end of the video. I'm going now.